Hello out there. I told you guys I was going to be doing a concert review, and that's what's about to happen right here. I just saw Primus and Mastodon at the Ozark Amphitheater in Camdenton, Missouri. This was on June, I believe it was the 16th. June 16th, Saturday, which was yesterday. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a review on that concert. First of all, I was a little bit ambivalent about the concert. There were some things I liked, some things I didn't like. So, first things first, the parking was stupid. Like, we had to park out in this grass field, and they had these personnel with the green jackets on and the yellow jackets, like the traffic jackets. They were waving people in and parking the cars so fucking close that they were literally like bumper to bumper. And we were arguing with one of the guys about putting the tailgate down on the truck. And he was like, "You can't do that." And one of the guys that went with us, his name was Matt, Vance's friend, pretty much told the guy, he was like, "No, we're going to put the tailgate down on this truck. We're going to sit out here and drink beer and listen to music." Because it was like an hour and a half before the show. The guy didn't want the freaking tailgate down because the cars were so close together. So it ended up not being a big deal. The guy didn't really mess with us. But yeah, you know, we sat out there and drank and listened to Mastodon, Primus. We wanted to kind of blast some music that we knew the other people out there were going to enjoy. So the concert itself, the venue, the Ozark Amphitheater, guys, is freaking gorgeous. Like the setup they have there, it's outdoors, of course. 2 huge screens on either side of the stage, so you can see up close and personal, like the musicians, the artists. They have cameras kind of doing close-ups, and they'll flash the close-up on the big screens. They had these 5 different LED screens behind the drum set to play different visuals, like from whether it be the album cover or some kind of video, like music video, some sort of visualizer while the bands were playing. It was a nice big stage. These amplifiers like all stacked, hanging from either side of the stage. I counted, there were like 8 of them on either side. And it was just a huge, kind of professional looking venue. It was really cool. Nice, nice seating outdoors. It felt like, and there was beer readily available. There were other concessions readily available. All you had to do was walk 1 or 2 minutes away from where you were seated, and you could get food, beer, whatever you wanted. So, and of course they had merch there. It felt like going to an adult theme park almost. But it was with a concert venue, with a stage outside. So it was really cool. Props to Ozark Amphitheater. I have to say, the first band that came up, Juju, they sounded like, I guess, some sort of a psychedelic rock, sort of prog rock kind of band. I want to say there were like 4 members of this band. They were all right. The thing is, I don't know if it was the acoustics at the Ozark Amphitheater, but a lot of the sound, when it was coming through, it sounded like all of the sounds were kind of bleeding into one another, and it was almost like a wall of noise. And I don't know if that was just the way it was set up at the amphitheater, or if it was this particular band. They pretty much, there was so much ambient noise, so many sound effects going on in the music, it really made it difficult to kind of make out what they were doing. They seemed into it, they seemed like they gave a shit about what they were playing, and I didn't really know who they were. The people that I was with didn't really know who they were either. So they didn't really impress me that much. They were alright. So they played for about a half hour. And then, by the way, I thought it was going to be super hot out there on that stage and in that crowd, but the temperature dropped just a little bit. As the concert started at around 7 p.m., the temperature dropped just a little bit, and it actually ended up being all right. So, but then Mastodon came on. Mastodon killed it, man. They played so many of they played songs from a lot of their albums. They played some stuff from Emperor of Sand too, of course. I want to say they played Show Yourself. They played Steam Breather. I think they played Sultan's Curse. I could be wrong, but yeah, then they played some other songs like Ancient Kingdom, Mother Puncher, Toe to Toes. Like Mastodon played a long ass set, and they sounded so good. It was really cool getting to see the drummer, Brand Daler, live, and they kept flashing, like they had a camera right over his drum kit, and they kept showing him up close on the big screen monitors so that you could see him back there singing and playing drums at the same time. It was really cool. He was doing all these badass fills, and you could just tell he's like the heart and soul of that band. You know, he's so busy back there. It's really amazing to think that one guy can do all of that, because it seems like he has a lot of different responsibilities. But so seeing him live was really cool. Brent Hines, he shaved his head. I don't know what's going on with that, but he was shredding a little bit on the guitar. He played really well. You couldn't hear, I don't think his microphone was turned up loud enough, because it was kind of a struggle to hear him sometimes at different points during the show. All in all, man, Mastodon, they played a hell of a set. They played a long set. They played a lot of deep cuts. You know, there were a couple songs that you would have thought they would have played, like March of the Fire Ants, like Blood and Thunder. I don't believe they played A Curl of the Burl, you know, is another one. Maybe The Wolf is Loose. I don't believe they played any of those songs. So they were playing mostly kind of the secondary or second tier songs, and they just created the set list. They played for over an hour. So you got a big dose of Mastodon. And what can I say, man? They're just really professional musicians. The crowd, the venue wasn't filled out. They said at the gate that they had sold 1,500 tickets. There didn't look like there was 1,500 people there at that show. I'm just going to be honest. There were a lot of people there, but you know, that place wasn't sold out by any means. So I kind of felt bad, actually, for an artist like Mastodon, who, you know, is probably used to doing huge shows and deserves to be doing huge shows, to come out to the middle of Missouri, Camdenton, Missouri, and play this small place. And the Ozark Amphitheater isn't small, but I mean to play a relatively small show like that that's not sold out. They were really good sports about it. They didn't, you know, crack on the audience. They weren't complaining about, you know, audience participation. And sometimes artists can get like that, but this band, they performed really well, and they had a great attitude, so that was good. And then Primus came on last. They started out with Too Many Puppies. It sounded badass. Larry Lalonde was there. Of course, Les Claypool. I'm not sure who the drummer was. I kept hearing that it was Tim Alexander, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Yeah, they started out with Too Many Puppies. After a couple of songs, the couple initial songs to kind of get the crowd excited, they started going into a lot of material from the Desaturated 7 album, which was their last album that came out last year. It's themed about the goblins. I think there are 7 of them, and they're all a different color, and I guess they eat color, and they're searching for the rainbow or something. I don't know. Sounds like some Les Claypool shit. So they played a lot of stuff off of that album, man, a lot. And Les said at the beginning of the show, he goes, "You guys are going to get a big dose of goblin rock." And that was what he was referring to. I think they may have played that entire album, actually. So, you know, we were kind of just wanting to see him play the hits, obviously, like stuff from Frizzle Fry, Pork Soda, Sailing the Seas of Cheese, maybe some stuff off of the Brown album, who knows, but they really kind of pummeled the audience with that stuff, man, the newer stuff. And I get why artists do that. It was a very similar thing, actually, at a Perfect Circle show that we went to just this past spring. And they're touring for a new album too right now. But, you know, I understand why artists do it. They're interested in their new material. You know, they don't want to just play the same songs over and over and over and over again. It's just, you know, as somebody who's been a fan of Primus for, you know, 20 years, I just wanted to see, like, him play a few of those songs. And after that big, whatever it was, 40-minute chunk in the middle there of new stuff, they did break into, well, first of all, I should say, we were going to leave. It was about 11 o'clock, and we're looking at our watches, you know, or at our phones, and we're thinking, damn, man, we got to get out of here or else we're not going to be able to beat this traffic. We're going to get stuck back here and end up getting home really late. So we were literally, our group, we were walking out of the venue. And we were like, dude, they're not going to play any of the old shit. They're going to just play this new shit. And we were walking out of the venue, and we heard over the speakers, Welcome to This World off of Pork Soda. That song came on, and they started playing it just out of the blue. And we were standing there thinking like, holy shit, is that what I think it is? And then we promptly ran back, like a bunch of idiots. We like ran back into the audience and like watched them finish up that song. And then they went right into My Name is Mud, and then transitioned from like the middle of the song right into Jerry Was a Race Car Driver. And it was a little bit of a medley they did there, but yeah, we got to see him do that. And then everything went dark. All the musicians left the stage, and you could tell it was like it was going to be encore time soon. And we didn't stay for that. That's when we decided to leave. We were like, okay, everyone's going to wait to see them play an encore. We're just going to dip out here and not worry about it. So you may say that we're bad fans for doing that, but man, it's an hour and a half drive from where we went to the concert to get back home. Everybody was tired. We'd been there since like 2 o'clock or 3 that day. Everybody wanted to get home at a reasonable time and not have to wait behind a bunch of other people in some grassy field somewhere trying to get out with these idiots in green and yellow jackets waving us through one at a time. Like, we did not want to do that. So yeah, we just pretty much hightailed it out of there. As we were leaving, though, we could hear Primus was playing a Metallica song. I don't know if it was The Thing That Should Not Be off of Rhinoplasty. I don't think it was that one. I think it was actually Master of Puppets. I think they were playing some of that song. So overall, like I said, I'm ambivalent towards that particular show. Mastodon was great. Didn't really care that much about the opening band. And Primus, I just think they kind of, I don't know, man. I think they played almost their entire album, the new album. I think they have such a big discography and so many classics. I'd like to see those worked into the set list a little better than just playing all of the new shit and then just giving people a little taste of the classics. I think that they didn't do a good job balancing those two. And that's my opinion. Some people may like the new album a lot. I think it's called the Desaturated 7. Yeah, I just, that part really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So, and then we're sitting there, you know, we've got a friend who's not really as familiar with Primus, didn't really grow up a fan of Primus, and he's going to see Primus live, his first time really experiencing the band. And then he doesn't get to see any of the songs that they're known for, really. He has to sit through, you know, almost an hour of their newer stuff, which is not on the same level as what they were playing at back in the 90s in their heyday. So, you know, it's just kind of a shame that he had to go see him like that. But how many times are you going to get to see Primus in your life? I've seen Mastodon now twice. So really happy about that, but that's basically it, guys. It was a great show. I would recommend seeing Mastodon, and if you guys haven't seen Primus, go see Primus. But if you go see Primus, be prepared. They're not going to play a bunch of the classics. It's not going to happen. They're going to play mostly new stuff. So just be ready for that. They might throw some older songs out there here and there, but most of it's going to be focused on their new album. So that's about it, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe below. I'll be churning out another album reaction for you guys soon enough. This is Metal Album Reactions. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.